I've recently seen more and more posts with Isiah Thomas bashing MJ and telling everyone that he wasn't so great. I've seen him say that he beat him many times and always made it seem like MJ just wasn't playing well against the Pistons in the playoffs, and he, meaning MJ, wasn't able to beat him, meaning Isiah Thomas. Now that got me curious a bit, and I thought to myself, why talk like that? The team game, and the Pistons were a better team the first few times they faced the Bulls in the playoffs, and that's why the Bulls were not able to beat them. If the Pistons were really that much better and the Bulls beat them in 1991, why not get the Bulls back in 1992? Why not in 1993? Now don't tell me that old crap excuse that the Pistons just got old. That's BS. And I'm going to prove that by saying that in 1991, when the Bulls beat them, the Piston average age for the team was 30.6. 30 years old was the average age on the Piston team. And the main players, such as Isiah, 29 years old, Joe Dumars was 27, Dennis Rodman was 29, and Lambeer was 33. So that BS excuse goes out the window. A lot of people keep repeating it. It's BS. The Bulls' age average in 91, 26.6. That was the average age of the Chicago Bulls in 1991. If you want, you can easily say the Bulls were inexperienced looking at that age up to the time that they beat the Pistons in 91. In 91, Pippen was 25 years old, MJ was 27, and they both never had much success in the playoffs before. As I can see, the losses the Bulls incurred at the hands of the Pistons were due to the Bulls being a very young team and an inexperienced one at that. Pistons weren't that much better, but they were the bully, and they loved and bragged about beating on the little guy, the inexperienced team. They were super happy, loud about it. Thomas still bragging about it. That's what Thomas is bragging about now. There was some comments of Charles Oakley where he was making fun of Thomas constantly attacking MJ these days. And Thomas responded to Oak with a tweet. Here are the comments by Oak and the tweet by Thomas.
He still want to be Mike. Mike do not want to be your friend, Isaiah. I'm telling you for the fifth time. He do not want to be your friend. You know, stay on ESPN, keep talking on TNT. Oh, Mike should, now you trying to say everybody better than Mike. It's okay. You not better than Mike. He came to your city and took your city. That's why you really mad. He took over Chicago. I know.
Now, after seeing that, my thinking, that's sad. Once the Bulls got experience, stood up to the bully, that bully just put their head down like they did walking out of that arena, faded away to nothingness. Thomas played in 1992, he also played in 1993, and he also played in 1994 when he tore his Achilles and retired at 32 years of age. After the Bulls humiliated Thomas and the Pistons, they faded away. In 92, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. In 1993, they didn't even make the playoffs. And in 1994, they ended up with 20 wins in the regular season. Make the playoffs as well. Now that we got the BS Pistons excuse out of the way, let's look at the two players here in the conversation. Let me compare for you Isiah Thomas and MJ in those series and see what the loudmouth Thomas did and what MJ did. Michael Jordan is simply keeping quiet and allowing his body of work to speak for itself. Let's now compare those two players with all their stats just playing against themselves in the playoffs. This will include 22 playoff games these teams had between each other in the time frame between 1988 and 1991, with both MJ and Thomas playing. Now, let's look at the loudmouth Thomas first. Isiah Thomas stats those 22 games against the MJ-led Bulls are as follows: 18.9 points, 5 rebounds, 8.2 assists, 2.2 steals, 0.2 blocks, 3.3 turnovers, 39.7% from the field, not good at all, and then 26% from three-point range. Does not look good. Now for Jordan, that Thomas keeps attacking all the time, that he couldn't beat him and so on, the stats go like this versus the Pistons in those 22 games. 30 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 2.1 steals, 0.8 blocks, 3.3 turnovers. Even though the Pistons had that awesome defense, MJ was shooting 48.1% from the field. 48%. And he was shooting 30.4% from the three-point range. So Jordan played 3 minutes per game more than Thomas in all those games. So the matchup was pretty much even with minutes per game. To end this video, I'm going to ask you this question. You can answer this in the comments. Tell me who was a much better player, and who the hell should sit down, shut up, and be humble, like Isiah mentioned in his tweet. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.